going to go ahead for some of you guys that just joined, because people joined in on different parts of the broadcast. So I'm going to go ahead and do a full recap for y'all about what the hell is going on here. All right. So as you guys know, Andrew was detained by the police, DICOT to be exact, who is a law enforcement agency / prosecutorial office that work together. I would say it's the equivalent to maybe FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office combined, right? That's the U.S. functional equivalent for all my American people out there, right? He was detained by them pursuant to 5 search warrants that were conducted at different premises in Romania. The way the law works in Romania, guys, is if they go ahead and get a search warrant, it automatically gives them a 24-hour period, essentially, right, in most cases, to detain the individuals and or subjects of the investigation of the search warrant for 24 hours. During that 24-hour period, it is on the prosecution and on the police, right, to go ahead and gather more evidence to justify holding them for a period of 30 days, which can be all the way up to 180 days. The person that makes that decision is the judge. So in this case, they went ahead and did the search warrants, detained Andrew and Tristan for 24 hours. At the end of that 24 hours, the police and the prosecution came back and said, yo, judge, we want to hold them for 30 days. And the judge allowed it to happen. Now, I want to be very explicit about this. Okay. And I got this information, by the way, from a credible law enforcement official out of Romania who knows what the hell she's talking about. All right. Them deciding to detain him for 30 days can be on a bunch of different factors. It can be maybe they found evidence. It could have been the 6 witnesses saying some things, which we know people have lied on Andrew and Tristan before. It could be the fact that they're wealthy, have money, have different passports, have the ability to flee, that they could be looked at as a flight risk. There's a multitude of reasons as to why they could have been held for this extra 30 days. But what I do know is that they're being held for that 30 days, and they may or may not be released in that time period. At the end of the 180 days, pretty much, the judge has to make some kind of final ruling based on the evidence that is gathered. Okay, and that can be, you know, for something as small as the jail sentence is suspended. These guys are free to walk, all the way up to potentially 20 years with the charges that they're looking at according to Romanian law. The law over there is far different than it is in the United States. Okay, and from what I've seen, based on what occurred in April and what occurred here, quite frankly, my personal opinion, my professional experience from being a former law enforcement officer in the United States, this is a fucking fishing expedition, okay? Because they go in there and they're searching and they're trying to gather evidence as they're doing the investigation, right? Contrary to how it works in first world countries where they gather the evidence, build up the probable cause, go to try to get the person indicted, and then they come in with an arrest warrant. They didn't get an arrest warrant for Andrew until after the 24-hour period, okay? After they found evidence. But like I said before, there's a multitude of different factors that could have led to them getting this arrest warrant. So everyone and all these bloggers, these guys, these super SJW soy boys that are saying, oh, Andrew Tate got arrested, blah, blah, blah. Incorrect. He was detained for questioning for a 24-hour period, which gave the police time to gather more evidence. Okay. Now, I also want to say this too. This is no knock on the Romanian authorities or anything like that, but it is a different country where there is potential corruption, okay? We're not going to sit here and say that we live in some Disney fairy tale world. It is a country that is susceptible to corruption at some of the highest levels. It is what it is.
Which is why they moved there.
Yeah, but
also it could be used against them now.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? We really don't know what's going on here in this case. But just want you guys to understand that police everywhere are corrupt. Let's be honest here. Yeah. You could go to here, United States. You can go to another first world country. It happens everywhere. But Romania is a bit different. As you guys can see, their laws, right, allow for the police to kind of go on fishing expeditions with individuals. Because once you get a search warrant, it's like free reign. Woo! We detain them. We can do all this stuff. All right. The other thing, too, I want to bring to y'all attention is that this case is heavily dependent upon witnesses. They have 6 witnesses, allegedly, that complained that Andrew and Tristan, the 2 British people, as the press release showed y'all, were lover boys and promised them intimacy, marriage, cohabitation, etc., which is problematic in itself because we're relying upon feelings to make real-world decisions, which can consequently put them in prison. Right? We're relying on testimony that is inherently emotional from women that has to do with sex, relationships, marriage, etc. This is a very volatile subject. So the fact that that's being used, right, and used as potential evidence is wild to me. Okay? So like I said before, that's kind of what's going on in a nutshell. It is not what the internet wants to tell you where, oh, yeah, he got arrested because they caught him off a pizza box, or Greta Thunberg got him arrested, or any of that other stuff. No, it was just simply a coincidence that he went into a Twitter, fight with her, and then the police showed up the next day. It's just a coincidence. And then, like I said before, common sense, guys, the police are going to know he's in Romania just because of his stature, who he is. And, I mean, I tell you guys from experience, when I went to Romania, when we went there, they took our information, they took our passports, and they called it in before they let us get on the plane. Like, I mean, this is just how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Like any country that has any semblance of any type of advancement is always going to make sure that they do a customs and immigration check on the people that come into the country. And these guys are not Romanian citizens, so of course they're, even if they were, they would still have to some degree know they were there. And then also you got the brown walls in the back. Clearly, he's in Romania.
Common sense.
It's just common sense, bro. The pizza boxes. Are you guys fucking serious? It's amazing what people say on the internet. So now that we kind of went over and recapped what happened, this is my personal take on it. Guys, as you guys know, I used to work in law enforcement myself, right? With Homeland. You know, I've done all different types of investigations, from drug trafficking to human smuggling, human trafficking, all different types of crimes, firearms, all this shit. And when I was in Romania hanging out with the Tate brothers, I spent a significant amount of time with them. And what I want to say is these guys are the furthest thing from criminals. They're the furthest thing from human traffickers. I mean, these allegations are ludicrous. They're bullshit. These guys are family men. These guys have children. These guys donate to charities. These guys willingly provide different support systems all over Romania that they don't necessarily might not talk about publicly, right? For obvious reasons, which I understand and respect that. And they've been doing that for the better part of a decade. You know, it wasn't really until they became famous that all this spotlight has hit them. So for them to say, right, oh yeah, these guys are traffickers and all this other bullshit, it's a fucking lie. I saw with my own two eyes how these guys operate, right? The girls that come to the house, that hang out with them, these guys are celebrities in Romania, guys. Women are obviously going to flock towards them. But, right, with great, anytime you're famous, anytime you have any type of status, any clout or whatever, people look at that, right, to their own advantage. People have nefarious intentions a lot of time to get around people of status and power. And this is no different, okay? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And quite frankly, people will do and say anything to bring you down when you have status and money to elevate themselves. All right?